aka the silent prophet, along with he who shall not be named.
What's good, y'all? This is Jeremy, aka Big Country. Yeah, I got that name from because it just made me think of a lot of people who hate on me,
Yeah.
and even to this day, people still got issue. And when you ask them, they always act like, "Oh, there was never
No.
an issue. It's not no issue."
No problem with you, dog. It's all love.
Mm-hmm.
A white child walks up to your front door with a whip. He beats on your door like the police. Then he pulls out said whip and whips your front door. What do you do?
First of all, I would do the same thing that any logical black parent would did the exact same thing. Man, if you don't get that little bastard off of my door, like yes, like people think your child is above it all.
Right.
Man, get your child. Like, don't have your child going over here thinking they could do whatever they want.
They can't.
Your little child whipping the dough, hitting stuff, destroying stuff.
But I think there's a deeper conversation here. We don't need critical race theory. So they say. However, your child was conscious enough not to grab a bat, because that wouldn't be seen as disrespectful. People grab bats to go into altercations, especially with bigger people. It happens. He didn't grab a gun because he'd be like, I'm gonna call the cops. He grabbed a whip because he's like, this would be disrespectful. This right here, when I show with this, he gonna know that I'm declaring myself Red Dragon.
Man, you really dug deep for this one.
Did I?
Yes, you dug deep for this one. I'm just like this little bad kid. I don't care whether you black, white, Mexican, whatever.
But then you saw
This
when you went to the
little-
man's house. You go to the man's house. You like, I'm not trying to explain nothing to you. I'm just gonna show you a video of your son scratching my car. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just show you the video. No, you trying to accuse my son?
Yes, I'm accusing
The
your son.
video is different. Okay. Now I know we get accused and show you messed up because of the R. Kelly thing. Okay, because I was like, that's R. Kelly. In my opinion, when I saw it, he's singing "Happy People." I'm like, I know why he happy. At the same time,
All
the
I'm
video
saying,
don't lie. The video show who it show.
if the video shows it, and I hate when people try to say, well, we don't know what happened before the video, after the video. I don't care. This video shows you did what you did. That's all we need to see.
And it's 2 adults and 1 child. So I'm like, whatever these adults most likely ain't even concerned about that child. And then like, this is your child over here trying to do something stupid, and you allowing it. Like,
And you should suffer because your child. Like, I tell a lot of people, yes, your child is a result of you.
Yeah.
If your child is acting a fool, that's like what I tell a lot of people. If your child act a fool in the classroom, at school, all that stuff, it's you.
Yep.
It's you. You don't want to check your child. You don't want to do, because nobody come out the womb like, man, I'm Damien. Like, I'm just evil just to be evil. No. At some point in time, little Timmy, little Tommy, little Tyrone, I don't care who it is. Get this little bastard. And yes, I call them little bastards because when you're doing some manipulative, evil little things and then try to be like, oh, I ain't do nothing.
I thought you was calling them bastards because we live in a society where marriage ain't the
Well,
first
that's
step.
true too, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
The word bastard, yeah.
you call them as a derogatory term.
Yes. I meant every word of it.
All right, we're gonna get off that because I can go on that all day with the foolishness. Let's talk about the football. When you're going into football, do you believe the woman you choose should be like my backup? Like, hey, you retirement,
Yes.
right?
I mean, the whole idea is everybody should have a backup plan. Like we were talking before we got on air.
Right.
I am a firm believer. Like if you want to be a professional athlete all your life, that's fine. That is great. But you gotta be mentally smart.
Right.
Like if I get a contract for $50 million, bro, play with $5 million. The rest of this needs to be investments, ways to set us up for the future. And yes, your spouse should be that person. If you're a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home husband, I don't care if it's Serena or whoever, anybody. If you're that person that is not bringing in the funds, you need to figure out how can we make whatever happens just in case something bad happens.
I don't want to say adjusting. I feel like we know what comes with this lifestyle.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like Frank Lucas. I'm sure he put money away.
Yeah.
Nicky Barnes, I'm sure he put money away. Same thing. If I'm Emmitt Smith or if I'm Chad Ochocinco, shout out Chad Ochocinco because he did it.
Mhm.
Put your money away. I'm putting money up. I'm not finna.
Like
I'm gonna put it up, or you gonna put it up. Somebody that I know gonna put this money up, and I'm not gonna live above and beyond my means.
like 30 for 30. Like that whole thing's talking about people going broke.
Right.
Like they had millions and then they go broke.
Yeah.
How do you, like, logically, I don't understand how you're not like, okay, I'm a party, have a good time. Yes, I'm not telling you not to do any of that, but at least be like, hey, what happens if a career injury move or whatever?
Yeah.
And then even when you get out of the league, whether you're playing football, basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, whatever, hey, let me make sure
That I can sustain the lifestyle.
that I'm going to be set up.
Mm-hmm. And if you make $50 billion, you should at least. I ain't gonna say your grandkids, although it should go to your grandkids.
Yes.
But your kids should be set. And you really shouldn't try to figure out where you gonna get what you need to get. Best
Truth be
colleges,
told,
best schools.
I'm just saying, truth be told, your grandkid, that should be able to fund a legacy for your family.
Yeah, it should be a large kickstart. What I also feel like is I was talking with Greg Leger at work, and he was saying when you get in position, you got a lot of people in your family who don't necessarily have, things to do. So if I bought a house and I bought it on some acres, I get you a lawnmower. Okay, you gonna cut the yard. I'm gonna pay you to cut the yard. And then I'm going to mention you to other people who got yards the size of mine so you can cut their yard so I can build your legacy. Now, you might not want to be like, oh, man, I ain't want to be cutting the yards. I'm be like, it's a difference when you cutting, $1 million yards. It's different.
Yeah.
When you,
Like,
and it's not like you going to physically cut them forever. You going to cut yours to a certain point, build the infrastructure, give the work to somebody else.
Like, I just look at the business aspect of it because I'm like, okay, yes, we could have fun, we could play, we could do everything, but we gotta make sure we set up. I'm like,
right.
I don't understand how you get a nice lucrative contract and you go broke. It's a lot of people that end up doing that, or like those athletes where they put their body on the line so much as they got older, they could barely do anything. Bro, you should be able to call somebody, hey, I pay you, you gonna come help me till the day I die.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you gonna help me up and down these stairs, take me to therapy, whatever I need to
therapy,
do.
yeah. But elevator, escalator.
Yeah, elevator, escalator. But if you don't have those kind of things, like a personal assistant, like for example, if my mom's an accountant, why wouldn't I tell my mom, hey, if I hit a contract or something like that, you know what, mama, here's what we're gonna do. You gonna quit your job. I'm gonna pay you to manage my funds. Now, I know somebody's gonna be like, but oh, do you trust that person? Yeah, that's my mom. This is my mama. I would hope my mama wouldn't do me dirty like that.
I don't have to hope. You know your mama not gonna do you dirty. You know that. Like,
I mean, you know those things, but there's always somebody
I'm
come
not
up
going
with them ideas.
Hey, now if you,
there's a lot of shady mamas out there, though.
There's a lot of shady mamas, but
there's a lot of shady daddies out there too.
Shady daddies, that happens.
There's way. I don't know if you could say it that way. There's way more shady daddies because there's always dudes pop up after they child on hit the league or something. You weren't there for nothing else. Shaq daddy did it. LeBron daddy. There's a lot of people just
to pop up now.
Like, ha. Hey, you remember me, your daddy? No.
That's what I don't recall. I'm not gonna try. Even if don't go into a long conversation. I'm not finna try to figure out who you is, bro.
Yeah, it's like no, it's too late now.
No. Whoever stepped in place or whoever did not step in place. I'm gonna rock with who was there.
Yes.
We made it. It's like if you travel at like the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
There's some families who decide to stay and just sit back and be like, nah. But when we make it where we going, don't be asking for the roadmap.
Yeah.
But supposed to ride.
That's like those kinfolk that pop up out of the blue. You ain't seen them for nothing. Then all of a sudden you get a little bit of success or money or something. Right. Cousin.
Bam.
I'm like,
huh?
You don't remember me? And then they always give you that old backstory. You know, I'm your uncle on your mama's side.
If you gotta explain it, there's no need to explain.
You remember seeing me at the family reunion, boy? I remember you when you were born.
I mean, like, do you remember me when I went to the army? You went to the army? No, but you didn't know. You didn't know. So
you didn't know what I did.
You don't know what I did. You saw me on TV and we thought we looked similar. Mm-hmm. All right. Take that 21 and me or 23 and me and go that way. I'll see you when I see you, man. No disrespect, love, all love, but not that type of love. I don't love enough to break you off.
And all I know, people gotta start investing wisely.
Yeah, invest wisely.
Like if you have it, it'd be different. A lot of us be over here pinching here and there and stuff. Yeah. But now you got ample supply. Don't let the well run dry. Hey, you know what? Let me find another well to invest in.
You gotta have innovative people who creative. That's like, hey, he doing that.
You're not the person that is invented. You can't invent nothing. You can't do nothing. Hey, Thomas Edison. A lot of people don't understand. Thomas Edison didn't invent all those different things. He was just like, you know what? You got a good idea. I'll fund it. Now he got so many patents, it's crazy.
Right. And all the accolades. But at the same time, you got to take, do I want the recognition or do I want the bread? Sometimes you can't, because you can't have both sometimes. And those people who was giving them patents up to the gentleman to get their stuff off the ground, it's like, well, hopefully I can create something different next time. But right now, I'm going to secure this bag so my family, going to be straight.
Now, I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, do I really need the accolades? If I don't want one lump sum and that's it. I want my money to create its own money. I want wealth to create more wealth.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, you want the name? Okay, you get the name. 40% of wherever you get from it, no matter what, or anything that comes due to those revenues, come back here. I'll be okay. You can have the name. Okay.
Well, it's going to be difficult to secure 40%. However,
even you possibly, okay. Even
I mean, I'm not somebody who do contract, but I'm just saying, a high paid manager getting like 10%. So.
Because who was that? Who was the one person? Nikola Tesla.
Oh, they screwed him.
They screwed him. They bent him over a barrel.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who he is the main person to do the AC/DC that actually
alternating direct current.
Yes.
Well, he did alternating current. Edison direct current.
Yes, but he got it from Nikola Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
and then he patented it out to actually help with so many inventions that ever came out. But Nikola Tesla didn't get nothing from it because he got that one little bit.
That's why you gotta if you a real creative. Sometimes it's best to just go get you a manager, get you somebody who I do money, because when you going through like trying to master a craft, it's difficult. Like to be good at something, to actually be good, you have to invest time, mental hours.
Yeah.
So when you become the best in whatever you're doing in your mind, you able to do whatever it is. You didn't take the time to cut out and be like, nah, well, now I need to learn about money. So you showing up late to the game. That's what happened to a lot of music artists, a lot of actual painters. And I took so much time with the craft, bro. I didn't have time to, reading over contracts, all that. So if you say I'm the best, let me help you. I'm going to go over here and talk to this man who is the best, or woman. They the best in what they do. And that's figuring out if you trying to screw me or not. Because it got to a point where Nikola Tesla just wanted to get the product out of electricity. So instead of getting his residual income, because they was going to pay him per watt going into your home, because it's his mind. Yeah. If he had done that, from that point on, anything that he can think of and need funding for, he would have, because every house is run on 120 watts coming in. You know what I'm saying, folks?
Like radio, all those kind of things. Those are all part of the initial of him doing that. Yeah. Without him, it wouldn't be a lot of them things.
It's not a lot of, and since it's not a lot of them things, it's like okay. But at the same time, if he was smart, but he wasn't money smart. Money smart. Sometimes you can have people who don't really have a lot of talent, but they money smart. And they'll move a lot faster than somebody who actually got talent.
It was 50 Cent that was talking about it. He was talking about on Get Rich or Die Trying. They gave him like so much money up front, and then they were like, "We give you like $50,000 here, or we could give you a point on whatever what was it, like 2 or 3 points on wherever we rake in." And he was like, "You know what? I'll take those points." He was like, "Oh, those points ended up being, I sold like 16 million on Get Rich or Die Trying. I ended up with like 8 million, 9 million just from that point."
Right.
And I'm like, but and he was talking about another person. He was like, "Oh, do you want the money up front or do you want the point?" And a lawyer was like, "Let me talk to him for a minute before y'all make those decisions. If you don't understand, get with somebody that do understand.
Let me go tell him not to screw himself over. Let me help him."
And that's why
you go get him.
When it comes to football, when it comes to sports and everything, you need somebody.
If every football player in college right now, don't knock off the cheerleader unless the cheerleader going for an accounting degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't need you just to be.
I don't. It's too many beautiful people in the world. And you can't tell me you spend an absorbent amount of time with this woman, because you got spring training, you got off season, you got the season, and then on top of that, you need to go see your tutors and all that if you're doing it right. So majority of the time, you ain't really got a lot of extra time. So anytime you give it to somebody else, you're giving it to them, right? Okay, I'm only going to the accounting and business department to look at women. And I know you're like, well, you excluding a whole bunch. Yeah. This is a different type of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I also don't believe in the whole soulmate thing, because I'm like, you can calculate and choose your partner based on, it's beneficial to me to have you here. And I see the benefit in you. You see the benefit in me, because you got dreams of starting businesses and building stuff. I got dreams of being in the NFL. So I'll have working capital for you to go and pursue your ventures. And maybe I don't have to play a full 5 years. Maybe I get that first lump sum, that first bag, and you can build something over here. And then I'm like, now I got to decide, do I really love the game of football? Because I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got to mess up my knees. I ain't got to be Earl Campbell or anybody else.
I could live a nice life, legit, chilling. at home. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Going to business, figure out what she doing.
Who was it? Irvin. Irvin's fingers. Like, his fingers are so jacked up from catching so many footballs and everything. He was talking about arthritis that he had in his hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like.
That's the price. That's what people don't give. I'm like, to be great, it's damaging to anything you do. You know how many freaking artists got carpal tunnel and wrist issues?
Yeah.
It costs to be great. You're not just gonna be great, bro.
There's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice, and you're supposed to be compensated for said sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So you gotta continue to, put people in place that's doing the best on your behalf, because you doing your best on their behalf. Because if you pursuing your craft, you doing what? You generating the capital at all points, and then. Sometimes it's not even your girl. You need to find them people who just trying to be helpful. Yeah. Like if you could tell somebody, "Nah, we ain't got no space for you," but they be like, "Well, don't worry about it. I'll do it. Just let me do it.
Let your gift make room for you."
Easy, because a lot of people in a lot of powerful positions, not because they was just the first person that came to mind, but they was the person who wouldn't let you forget them.
Yeah,
remember that. Speaking of people who won't let you forget them, the baby is being used as a promotion tool for a new album. DaniLeigh.
Yeah, she was doing one that sung the Chris Brown song, "Take It Easy" or whatever. I don't even really listen to her like that. Right. But the thing was, what was it, like almost 6 months, almost a year ago, her and the baby were going through their issues, and the baby kicked her out of the house because she was making it hard for his other baby mama, right, and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna have all these issues in my house, so you can go." So apparently she waits all this time, and then what was it, like a week ago, she decides she wants to put it out about all the altercations and issues that they had, and she wasn't a side piece and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's too little too late. Nobody cares.
Well, I would agree that nobody cares, but, I can't necessarily say that her putting it out is the worst thing. Because if it's on her soul and she got a creative outlet.
But there's a difference. That's like if you're telling me, hey, these things are recent, I can understand. But that's like me bringing up some stuff from high school and trying to pursue somebody that did me wrong in high school or somebody that did me wrong in college. Why would I wait all this time to do it? Oh, well, I got an album coming out, so it's going to make me look better, and it's going to get promotion for me.
Well, I mean, that question we can tie that into the Me Too movement. Everybody use this situation to create their careers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's good in any way. It's all bad. And a lot of them women, and Terry Crews. Why are you laughing when I say Terry Crews, dog?
Because nobody respects Terry Crews. Not even Terry Crews.
I respect Terry Crews.
Nah, I respect his work ethic.
No.
I respect his grind, but
any man willing to put himself in an uncomfortable space and then be the butt of everybody's joke, further a conversation,
because he was like, "Oh man, I need to remain relevant." No. First of all, because
he was a host.
I understand. Okay, you don't want to knock this dude out because you don't want to mess up nothing in this industry. Okay, right. That's fine. That's cool. But then he just kept going. And then he started talking about racism and reverse racism. And
reverse racism, I can't rock.
I'm like,
it. Okay.
Terry.
Sit down.
I know you want to make sure people don't forget you, but reverse racism. There's no such thing. It's racism, whether it's one way or another. And there's a difference between bigotry, racism, and stereotypes.
Right.
But he kept trying to throw everything as
lump it all in the same bowl.
Oh, well, black people, just as racist as white people. And I'm like, we all can be bigots. We want our race to be the best. We want the best for us.
Right.
Every last person here should want that.
Correct.
But when you're messing with someone else to get those things, that's where it becomes an issue. When you have the actual ability to mess up somebody's stuff with that power, that's when it becomes an issue. If you just don't like me, I ain't got to fool with you. You ain't got to fool with me. Like, right now, we used to crack jokes all the time back in the day about light skin and dark skin. I don't give two craps.
Never cared.
At one bit. I don't care if you're light skin, dark skin. I don't care who you are. I respect you as a person. If you respect me, I respect you.
Respect.
If you don't respect me, to hell with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's quite that way. It's just like that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like,
but bringing it back to the Danny girl, and then how we wrote that around to include the Me Too movement. A lot of those stories that people telling was after the fact. So it's hard to say, well, she can't, but these people could. And if that's something, and the thing about it is, in your life, it's issues in your life that aren't time sensitive to you, but they be time sensitive to me. Like, let's say you was on your last dollar, and I was sitting up there, and I'm about to go to the burger spot, and you told me, hey, I'm on my last dollar. And I go to the burger spot, give you something to eat, and I'm just sitting here snacking in your face, and I know you're hungry. Now, later on down the line, let's say 6 months from now, you go into the burger spot, you see me on my last dollar, and I be like, can you buy me something? The moment I left you hungry was time sensitive to me. Like, okay, he won't remember this in 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? He don't really know whatever my situation is, but it don't matter. When you going to be like, bro, just 6 months ago, I was in the same position. You ain't even.
Yes, but you know as well as I do. You ain't going to forget that because it's like, it's the same thing. That's like, bro, like, excuse me. That's like, if you sit here and tell me, okay, we both doing this together and everything.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, hey, I want to give some money to a podcast and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And you just pocket the money. I'm like, okay. You can't get mad if I did the exact same thing because we both did the same thing.
It depends on the amount of money.
No,
the issue is if you go get Buddy off the podcast, or I get my because we've been here and doing it.
Yes.
I'd be like, I can't just screw you over like that.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the fact that, okay, this has been happening with her and the baby.
Right.
They had their issues. They talked about their issues.
Mm-hmm.
The issue's done. But you're like,
the issue's not done if she
the
not
issue was done.
How is the issue done? She's saying in her world, because it wasn't time sensitive to her, this is still a big deal, a big portion of her life. Like, people still asking her, okay, about the baby. Okay, well, let me tell you everything you need to know in the form of art. And if you want to know my story, just like autobiographies, you're going to pay me for it.
You're using that for your music.
No.
That has nothing to do with the baby. Or you.
But
like, okay, what I'm saying.
a lot of artists.
What I'm saying, your baby. That's like the whole August Alsina thing.
Right.
August decided to throw that out there.
No. You got to come from a creative space, bro. That's why I understand why people do it. To like, because I'm like, y'all don't understand. You don't get it. Like, August Alsina put that out because that's on his heart. That music is his outlet. It's like the energy stored in me.
All the times to put it out. But
if I'm making music about it and it's going to make the album, I need to explain to people, this is what's going to come out on the album because that was what was happening in my life at the time. When Kendrick Lamar did the Heart 5, right?
Okay.
Nobody gave him any flack. Shout out to Roy and Mal for this. But nobody gave him any flack, but they respect his integrity. They understand if he talking about the whole Nipsey Hussle situation and different situations, and he doing it in an artful, tasteful way. And that's why people let him make it. Because they like, Nipsey Hussle been, deceased quite some time.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. But at the same time, he been deceased for a while. And then we bring it back up. He brought it back up. And then that's one of the rollout songs for the album. But you understand him as an artist. You understand his intention is not, Kendrick Lamar, I don't need promotion for my album off nobody. If Kendrick Lamar said, I'm finna go out and I'm finna drop an album the next day after my album, people gonna be like, well, I'm gonna have to buy 2 albums this month.
Now, you saying that. He didn't need the promotion from it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she needed the promotion from it?
No.
So she just did. She
But
just wanted to bring
I'm
that
telling
out
you,
just
I'm
at that
telling you,
point
this
in
is
time.
how it happened. Kendrick Lamar spoke on Nipsey Hussle and all that because that was something that was on his mind at the time. He like, I'm making a conscious album. What have I been thinking about? What's been on my mind for a while? When I see these people, I feel this way when I see you. He make a song about it.
Okay.
Let's clear the air. Hey, drop this song because I need this that's going out. The DaniLeigh girl, when she was going through her issues with the baby, the song was being generated from the day she started feeling the trauma. The second she found out that people think I'm the side piece and all that, the song was being written. It ain't, I'm not sitting back and jotting it down right now, but it's on my mind. It's in there. So, album coming out. Well, what have I made? I made at least 2 songs about the baby. Okay, put those out. Let's get that out the way. Cause that's what people listen. That's what they want right now. They want to know what my life is. Well, this is my life here. And now let's get back to get that off so that I can come back. And now we can talk about my album, the artwork that I created. Cause this is the portion you wanted, but I drug you in here. Now you see what it all is.
So then why even have the interview?
Why have an interview? Because I released a song, and in that song, I'm talking about a situation that the media is going to really be into, and now I got to talk about it because they want to know about it. Anytime I do an interview, it's not me who making these interview questions. They bring me the interview. This is what we're going to ask you. Okay. So I got to promote my album.
6 months later.
6 months later. Bill Cosby, 30, 40 years later.
We ain't gonna go into a whole bill.
But I'm just saying, we can't be, we gonna spread it around. Everybody gonna be equal. If I bring out a belt, anybody who did wrong today gonna get a whooping. It's not just for you. Anything that I came up with that was bad today, you getting this whooping. Oh, ain't nobody finna get a whooping.
I guess so.
I'm just saying. Bill Cosby is a situation. R. Kelly is a situation. They said the third. We brought all those things up after the fact. After the fact. And
but none of them besides her were using that to promote nothing. Like, they weren't promoting their albums with it. Okay, R. Kelly wasn't promoting the things he did,
but they did the
Cosby,
R. Kelly, because R.
other
Kelly,
people brought that up.
Yeah,
other people,
it wasn't
R. Kelly.
No, it's not R. Kelly. But you see the women on the show, and I'm not talking about them in the neighborhood because they victims. But as far as I know, let's keep it in perspective because I can't 100% say that they was all right. He was wrong. This, that, and the third. I'm not diving into R. Kelly's situation outside of the fact that I need to bring this point forward.
Okay.
They were on the show, and they are promoting surviving R. Kelly.
Okay.
Years after the fact.
Okay.
So they not in the same caliber as far as musical talent as R. Kelly. However, they are promoting something. They promoting the show. And they using him as the springboard. Like, we all went through this with R. Kelly. Here's the story.
Okay.
The DaniLeigh girl you can't make her the baby and Danny. She has to be one or the other. So in that story, the baby would be R. Kelly. Not, I don't want to.
Yeah.
The baby would be the point. The baby would be the point or the springboard for Danny to tell her story. Like, I went through this with that man. The baby ain't gonna promote no album with that because that's not even relevant to his life right now, as far as I know.
Okay.
But the Danny girl, this is what happened in my life. I wrote music about that already. I put that music out. We gotta take the whole, I'm using it to promote my album. No. I ask you this one question and we can move on.
Okay.
If she released the album and they found such a song on the album talking about her and the baby situation, and she never released it to the public.
Okay.
When she do an interview, what's the first question they're gonna ask? Not the first question, but what's the question they're gonna ask in the interview?
They would probably ask, was this song about your situation going on with him? And I would be, at that point, yes, she would be well within her right. But
No,
if you're promoting it before...
You say that.
You're promoting
You say
it before
that.
the album even drops.
This is what I'm telling
Let
you.
me make sure y'all know about what's going on with me and the baby right now.
No.
And how I wasn't
I'm
his
telling
side
you
chick.
right now, you looking at it, but I'm telling you what most people would do. I can't speak for you specific, but most people, when they found that song on the album, they be like, "Oh, she talking about the baby."
Okay.
She gonna get her album sale boost or her digital listen boost or whatever off that. And the second she going for that interview, they be like, "Girl, that happens." People gonna have that happened so long ago to you. Why you bringing that up? Well, you can put that on your album and you just gonna sneak it by, and it's the same thing. She ain't if she make music about her pain that people don't really care if she want to talk about it no more, they gonna start to say you shouldn't have talked about it. It's always somebody on the other side of the fence gonna tell you how it is in your house. Stay outside, nigga. I built the fence to keep you out, but since you keep peeking over, well, let me put on a show then. Here's the music.
But you can't even get mad at that because you signed up for that.
No, you can get mad at stop. Like, people got to stop saying that too.
That's true though.
That's true.
When you put yourself in the public eye.
When you put yourself in the public eye, you see what I want you to see.
No. When you put yourself in the public eye, your life
because
and all
we
that,
because we
they're
as
holding
people
you for what you said.
No, because we as people are curious and selfish. We can't allow our artists to just be our artists. They have to be our idols. Oh, he plays football, but he had an altercation with his wife. And I'm not saying that, go beat your wife, you're a football player. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he was a man or she was a woman before they ever touched the field, before they ever touched the mic, and there's certain stuff in their life that they want to keep off the screen. And we as people should be respectful enough to, when I talk to you, I'm going to talk to you about your art. But we fall in love with the personality, and that's what generates the sales.
Because you made that personality. That personality came from somewhere.
No, that personality came from somewhere, but you are who you are.
Now, what I'm saying from this, though, is if you're bringing out a personality saying, you about this, you doing this, you doing that, you open it up for other people to scrutinize what you do, what you don't do, because of the fact that, man, that's like a lot of people right now. They get charged up because, like, what was it? I think it was Plies back in the day when he talking about all the goons and stuff like that, and they ran up in his spot because you talking about, oh, you about that life, you all this, you all that. Okay, come to find out, you're lying. You lying.
It's a show.
But that's the thing but you're portraying it like this is you. You didn't say, oh, I'm just an artist having fun.
Slim Jesus said he's just an artist having fun, and they still ran up and body slammed him on stage.
Now, that is different.
That's the
No, that is different because
every time I bring up a good point that solidifies my point, that's different. No, if I bring out the belt, we all gonna get this whooping. We all need this whooping. If Slim Jesus gets slammed on stage, and Plies said, you trying to tell me Plies fake, but I'm like, I don't necessarily know, because we say all that, but let's remember what happened to Plies. A group of guys walk into this function.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got no what security. I'm in here doing a song with Jamie Foxx. I may not need the highest level of security. It's Jamie Foxx. I mean, the whooping that Jamie Foxx was putting on people on stage was Dave Chappelle. Maybe like maybe
dance on that.
You know, I be like maybe Jamie Foxx can be your security. However, when you live in that environment for quite some time, you grow this paranoia. You always looking over your shoulder. So 3 guys come in, you know as well as I do. Them Bruce Lee films was lying to you. I don't care how cold you is. 3 dudes bigger than you who are aggressive just like you. Hopefully, I don't know if Plies really aggressive. They come looking for you. It's probably best not to. I'm not the most thug nigga in the universe right now. I'm trying to go home too. I ain't got my gun on me or nothing.
Because you talking about it.
You talking about it, but I'm
like for example, right now, and we'll kill it after this one. The baby.
Yeah.
Everything he said in there, he was about it. When he in all of his lyrics, like he was like, "That's what I do." Somebody ran up in his spot. He shot him. Like if I'm talking about, I can fight.
Okay.
But I ain't never hit nobody ever.
No.
I ain't
No.
never hit nobody.
This is what you said.
I ain't never hit nobody.
This is what you said. This is what I just said. Plies at a video shoot with Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
I ain't got my gun on me. They ran up in baby spot, my home. You don't think I got it? I know the stash spot. Bruh, I'm going to grab what I need to grab. And if nothing else, you ran up in my home. I'm not running from where I live.
But they've always told you keep your head on the swivel. If you talking about you about that life.
We ain't finna have that conversation with niggas.
Because
you more gangster than this thing if you keep your head on the swivel. That's foolishness.
No, that's the truth.
That's not the truth.
I'm talking like I'm a hood dude and all I do is hood nigga stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Why would I be caught lacking? Why?
At a certain point,
I don't
progress.
If I tell you I'm about that life, bruh, I'm gonna make sure that you ain't gonna catch me slipping at any point in time.
Oh, so I have to shoot at you and get to a violent confrontation with you in order to not be caught slipping, or I can do the smarter thing and get out of the situation. Let me just go exit stage left for a little bit and come back.
And that's the same thing that Wallow from what is it? The I forgot the name of it. $1 Million Worth of Game where with what's his name? Gilly the King.
Yeah.
Like he was talking to him. If you about the streets, be in the streets. Be in the streets. But if you're not about the streets, you don't have to be talking about you living that life in the street because you're not in the streets no more. That's my thing. If you not about that life, cool. That is fine. Me, I'll tell you, I'm not about that life. I just want to be a father, protect my children, protect my wife, and my friends and family. And I will kill anybody for that. Now, does that mean, I'm talking about everybody gets shot? No. But if I'm talking about anybody can feel it, what make you think somebody ain't gonna come pull your card one day?
Okay. When was in a street fight? When was the last time you were in a physical confrontation in the streets because for whatever it is?
Honestly, it was back in college.
I was fighting
for my frat
wait
brothers.
now. How many years ago was that?
That's about 10. So things about you 10 years ago still hold true today. If somebody came to you with an altercation with issue, you would handle issue accordingly, correct? No, because I move in. Hold up, and you know for a fact we all move in a different way now. Now that I have children, I have a wife, and everything else. Yes, I move in a different way. I'm not resorting to anger first thing now.
Stop right there.
Hold up. No.
I
You're
need
not
you to
gonna
stop
say
there.
because he got money, that's what changed him.
It's not what changed him. I got something to lose. You think I'm finna get here and get beat up when I'm literally right here, right now, doing a song with Jamie Foxx?
They always say money don't change people.
Money do change people.
No.
Who is they?
Shows
First
you.
off, who is they?
Money shows you what people actually are.
No.
Yes, is what you are at your peak. Money, like if
no. What money does is give you the chance
to show who you.
Not show who you truly are, but if I don't want that, I don't have to have that. If I'm not a dude who physically want to go when I'm coming up, I don't have a choice. You test me, my reputation means a lot to me because that's the only thing I really have here. That's it. If they think I'm weak, then from that point on, I'm weak. I have to rebuild, and that's the only thing I got. So yes, as a person who don't know much and a person who don't have much, I'm willing to do a lot more to somebody who has more than I do. It's just life. It's different when you live in the building with the criminals. I live here with y'all. Now I moved to a mansion in Wisconsin. Shout out T-Pain. I moved to a mansion in Wisconsin. It's different. I don't live in there with you.
That life.
You don't, but you don't give up. That's why I was going with the fight. You still a fight, and you still telling people about how you'll beat somebody down. But that's you telling me a story about something you could do to somebody 10 years ago.
See, now the reason I could say that is because how long have I been fighting?
A very long time. Your whole life, probably.
Okay, now. When have I really stopped fighting? If I have to, yes, I could bring anything out.
But your mentality ain't that.
Yes, my
mentality. No, your mentality ain't that.
Okay, for example, in college, I ain't have no wife, I ain't had no kids, none of that. I was like, if you about it, let's see what's up. And if we get technical, you felt the same way too.
Yes.
Now,
I had nothing.
Now,
what do you mean?
What I'm saying is, but what you're saying is money changed you.
Money didn't change me. Life changed me. Experience changed me. Wisdom changed me.
Yeah, exactly.
Time changed me. I'm not.
But are you still talking about? Oh man, anybody can feel it now. Have you said that in the last 10 years?
No, that got nothing to do with me. I'll tell you, as a man, you ain't gonna disrespect me.
Exactly.
But that ain't me telling you it's different
because you
back
put
then.
That down.
But back then it was. If we got an issue, I'm here to solve it right now. Nowadays, you got an issue with me, but I don't necessarily got an issue with you. I'll get out your way. I don't care enough. That'll be you. But you pursue me with it, then I'm going to do what I need to do. Because I'm all about standing my ground.
Exactly. And that's different versus you talking about, man, like right now, if you were saying the exact same thing right now, man, whoever wanted can get it. It don't matter. I'll fight anyone. No, somebody come in and pull your card.
But I would fight you though.
No,
I'm just saying, like,
I mean, bro.
I mean, like,
you know exactly what
I'm not telling you from a standpoint of like I expect to win 100% of the fights. I've lost fights in life, like.
Okay.
But at the same time, I've won fights in life. So I'm like, if you want to fight and we have to go there to see who's physically more dominant because you need that. And you not gonna let me avoid it? Sure.
But that's the thing is because you don't talk about none of that stuff no more. You not about that life.
It's not important. Plies, please excuse my hand video shoot. You should have caught him on a different song. I'm just saying if I'm in this space.
Because when he was, I'm gonna just leave it alone after this. When he was, when they ran up in his spot, he was talking about, he was about that life. That's what he was talking about. Maybe not that very second. Oh, I didn't say you catch these hands on Tuesday, but it's Wednesday.
Plies ain't ever talk about beating nobody up. I listen to Plies. I still listen to Plies.
I give Plies props.
Plies kept the 40 on him. You caught him in a situation where it ain't on me. So I'm not the plies.
If you're talking about you,
no, I'm not in that lifestyle no more. I'm sitting here. We need to work out the particulars of my contract. I'm talking with Jamie Foxx. I know you ain't that type of dude. I'm not bringing that type of energy to your set. Here we go. We here. Let's shoot the video. Oh, shoot. It's niggas coming in from the lifestyle that I live separate from this one. Dang. I ain't got it on me. My security, they ain't really here like that. I'm going to just go to the restroom for the next hour, if that's cool.
Okay.
You catch me on the other video. You catch me on the in my hood video. You know, I'm so hood. I'm sorry. I'm so hood. It might be a little different. Because I'm sitting here with people who they talking about they shooting for. I know that somebody might come and check them. I'm going to keep it on me. Situational. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But the fact...
y'all be the judge of this one.
You be the judge. I'm just saying. It don't... It's just is what it is. Vivica Fox gets on social media talking about Mr. Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Yes.
And, I mean, what she was saying, because she was calling me a hypocrite and all that, but don't get me wrong, what she did was terrible. But that pastor, I feel like that was real. That was
all of them getting on my nerves, and it's like I don't understand why you would do it though. Is it like the man has passed on? Are we still gonna keep bringing up what happened beforehand and all that kind of stuff before?
Yeah, go ahead. Hello.
Like that's something that I don't truly understand.
How about?
If you talk about that life.
Yeah.
I'm like when it goes to the plot thing, he said he about it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, Kevin Samuels, while he was here, y'all didn't want to conversate with him to see how he felt about it and why he felt the way he felt. Right. You just were like, I don't like what he's saying. And
that's why I was telling you about the Danny girl. It's people on the other side of the fence want to tell you how your house is. Okay. They don't want to come in and inspect it, but they want to talk about it. Go ahead.
My thing was with Kevin Samuels, he put it out there. Dude gonna say, oh, he need a GoFundMe. How do you know it was his family that was like, oh, he needed a GoFundMe? Or, like, I could create a GoFundMe right now for Kevin Samuels. But and somebody will be like, oh, he need a GoFundMe for his. What does that have to do with anything?
No.
Like, and then they were like, oh, well, he's broke. How do you know what that man has? Because please understand, there's LLCs, if you don't know, LLCs are to protect your business. So you could put money in your business and not have to worry about it falling liable on you personally. Don't you have an LLC being an artist?
Yeah, I got a what was that? Sole proprietorship. I didn't go into LLC.
So
I need to.
Sole proprietorship. Why do you have a sole proprietorship?
Well, the sole proprietorship is just because when people know me as Arcotics online, if they would ever write me a check as, oh, this is for Arcotics, then I can go to the bank and be like, no, I am him. This is me.
Yes.
So that check belongs to me.
So those are two different things. So what I'm saying is from the issue of you don't know if it's Kevin Samuels does not have money or if it's under his business. Is it under his LLC?
I'm just saying they don't know they don't know everything about it. You don't know everything that goes into what was Kevin Samuels, because you do know he was a popular figure in the YouTube world. So you making a certain amount of views, they gonna cut you a check. Maybe the check that they was cutting ain't clear, or maybe it was somebody out there who said we gonna make this GoFundMe. He don't really need the funds, but we want the funds from the legacy he created. We don't know. We say a lot, but my thing is, you was a pastor. I understand pastors have to bring in real life and mix it in a 50-50. I want to say a 50-50. Hopefully an 80-20 mix of 80% this is the word, 20% this is the life you living, and we're going to mix it up in a bowl so I can serve it to you in a digestible form.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I brought this to you in that way, so I, as a pastor, I'm not finna use him as a method to educate you women on oh no, you letting somebody who don't know nothing, he doing this, and you got to bring me down to bring them up. Your method should have been, in my opinion, I don't need to bring down you women. I bring down Kevin Samuels to bring you up. I would just be like, look, you too invested in what everybody else think. Do you think you're doing well? When you critically self-assess yourself, do you think that what you're doing currently is the best thing you could be doing? If not.
And that's a great way to ask the question. Hey, are you doing what's best for you and your household? Yeah. If you could honestly, truly say you are, that is all fine. But when you have to tear somebody else down.
I gotta break you down to build them up. Because I'm like, it's a lot of women who were sitting in that audience and was like, oh, the pastor. Because what you did right then, you gave them rite of passage. You gave them justification for, it's not me. It's not me. The pastor
You gave them an excuse.
You gave them you solidified and you know, you brought foundation to frivolous, fraudulent claims. It's like you made some decisions. It's not up to everybody else to go behind you and clean up your messes. And I don't want people telling you that Brian thinks that you having outside kids is a mess, because that's one of the things Kevin Samuels was heavy on. Like, you got 2 and 3 kids with 2 and 3 different men, and you want this man to accept all them, and you want to be who you want to be. Sometimes you gotta accept that. Hey, I had 2 and 3 kids. It's a large burden on him. Just him accepting this obstacle, this task, has to be recognized as an obstacle or a task.
Yes.
And maybe the guy who making $100K and can go talk to Vivica Fox or
but my thing is, if you had like, why would I want the thing that has more things holding them back versus something that doesn't have more things holding them back?
Right.
That's like, I love women altogether. I think black women are one of the most beautiful things that God has ever created. Right. But I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I have to pick black if. Like, you're not the best thing for me.
Right.
Like, we marry, I would hope anyone marries the best thing for them.
No.
Now, if I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to marry you just because you black, no. That's stupid. That is a stupid thing for you to say. Now, if you're the best thing for me, I don't care. I think black women are gorgeous.
Right.
I lift up black women as much as I possibly can because they deserve it. But I lift up women because I'm like, beauty is beauty.
I don't want to get on there and be like, I'm gonna lift up black women just by putting down white women. I'm not gonna lift up white women by putting down Indian women. Regardless, I'm not gonna sit here and put any woman outside of the women I'm physically in contact with every day, like my mom, my sister, my wife, my daughter, like my mother-in-law. Hey, I'm gonna put y'all in high regard. Your mom, high regard, because I see you enough to know, nah, you can say what you want to say, but when it comes to getting the things done that she needs to get done, she does that. Now, whether your mom was a white woman, a black woman, if she's a woman who puts in the work, I'm going to show that respect. I'm going to show that love.
Exactly.
Period. Race aside. Now, when you telling me, oh, if I come to you and tell you, hey, look, a better way for you is to start looking at men who are in similar situations as you. If you got 3 kids and you don't make $100K, you might want to look for a man who, okay, he might have a kid and he don't make $100K, but together we make $100K, and it's gonna be in a better situation for me and these kids and us, and he can love me the way I need to be loved, and this and that and the third.
Exactly.
So it's like, the thing was, nobody ever looked at it from the perspective of the man. Like, the request you making is so outlandish. You want to come in here with a Honda car note, but expect me to give you a Benz.
Yeah. Oh, I only want to pay this much for it.
I only want to, and your credit already ain't that good, because I can see you got a kitty trail, not a paper trail, but a kitty trail. Yeah. Let me know you made a bad decision to me in at least twice. 1, 2. And the kid ain't the bad. I'm saying the man you chose, because a lot of women, when they have a kid by a man and they don't end up with the man, they'll bash that man. So you're telling me right now you made 2 bad decisions, because if you don't like your baby daddy, you think he's a bad decision, he's trash.
But the thing is, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Like,
accountability
whether you have
hurts.
a trash baby mama or a trash baby daddy, bro, you picked them.
You picked them.
Sis, you picked them.
All right. We can't say it about all athletes, though. We can't say it about all basketball players, because, you know, they do poke holes in condoms.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
stealthing.
That
Was
right,
that stealthing?
Yes.
Which is sexual
stealthing.
assault?
But see, they need to bring that over to America.
They're going to bring it. Bro, once the Windsor change, if I was a superstar right now and that happened to me, if I was Drake, I'd no longer put hot sauce in my condoms. I'd put a law book next to my condoms. I'd be like, I had that situation playing in the background. Like, oh yeah, what's this about? Oh no, that's a landmark case right there.
Mm-hmm.
If this don't go right, you'll know what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
And keep moving.
I think it should be there.
I know it
that's
should.
what I'm saying is, like, accountability seems like in America today is very hard for people to understand. Men and women, it's like accountability. People don't want to take. Okay, you know what? I picked that person. I did this. I did that. Just like when divorcing things happen, everybody talks about what the other person did.
They don't want to say what they did.
Yeah, you don't want to say nothing about what you did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I ain't do nothing wrong.
You know
it was
what?
all them.
Okay. I know you had to at least see clips of the Johnny Depp trial.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, but it's this one clip in particular where she puts a napkin up to her nose,
Mm-hmm.
and
then she dabs it by her eye too.
No. She has it here, and she don't press this side to it.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of lets it hang. Do you think she was doing coke in the trial? Because she hit one or two. Go, I'm gonna show it to you after this. You tell me what you think. I was like, now that's not the pot calling the kettle black. You sitting up here trying to expose this man for a drug addict, which, you know, we know that these actors and stuff like that live a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
But now you want to sit here and you gonna do it and be so bold and brazen to do it right here in court on the stand?
Man, Johnny Depp is funny on trial.
Well, that was
Man,
hilarious.
he just like the one where they were talking about, do you think you're bigger than her? And he just busts out laughing because I
wouldn't say that.
Well, you want to stunt her career. How you think she got Aquaman though? Like all these things. Was Mr. Depp peeing in the hallway? And he just busts out laughing like,
what is that? Why?
Relevancy? He was like, first of all, he was like, he wasn't naked. But then it was like, so if he wasn't naked, how was he peeing in the hallway? But it's just all those things. And I was like, they're trying to find any and everything to get this man on. He's hilarious on trial.
What? At this point, if he started a sketch comedy show called On Trial, I'll watch it faithfully.
Yeah.
And just have I don't want SNL to do it unless you can get Johnny Depp to reenact the trial with y'all. Because what be killing me, and how hard. Oh, this is one where Amber's like, Johnny Depp walking up to the podium, and then she's like, oh, and she started backing back, and then Johnny Depp looking like, oh, okay. He steps to the side. He like, we already got you on tape beating me.
Mm-hmm.
People that
even the judge over here, she had to take her glasses off. She's like, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh.
She's sitting there saying to herself, why is she bringing all women down this road? Why is she doing this to all of us? You know?
I want to know how long this trial is going to go on.
Man, I hope it goes on at least until I can get a comedy special out of it. That's all I need. I need clips. I'm sure they got about 30 good minutes of footage of just rebuttal that's just killer.
Man, I'm just saying, Johnny Depp is hilarious. I'm like, He could be a stand-up comedian.
He could do it. He could do it. Even if he go up there and bomb, I'ma laugh. Why? Because I just need him to keep going. Because I know it's gold in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's gold. You just got to get you to it. He gonna he need to go and kick with Dave Chappelle for like 2 weeks, and I'm sure when he come back, he gonna be on point. I'm gonna have to move to the next topic because I forgot. What in the world I was talking about with the other people? Oh, Pastor, stop that. All right.
Yeah.
Candace Owens goes on Patrisse Cullors, home and said it's the headquarters
for Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And the reason I was looking at this, like, it was just randomly, like, Candace Owens goes, rings the doorbell to her house. I don't know who's telling the truth, who's lying, or what, but I'm like, who cares? Like, don't get me wrong. I understand there's a lot of right-wing people that were like, oh, want to prove Black Lives Matter doesn't really exist and all this stuff. They were just trying to get money. Bro, we really past that right now. And it's like, yeah, Black lives have always mattered, but that's what they were standing up for.
Right.
Now, they trying to find this lady to try to defame her, talk bad about her, talking about, oh, well, she's the head, she's one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, so we got to prove her wrong. Bro, that was a while ago. Like,
you know, I look at it like this. Okay, you know how some cases get picked up by the state?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, once the movement becomes bigger than the person. Because the organization, I can tell you right now, I've probably been on their website once or twice, and that's just to see, because they was talking about, oh, they you know, mainly for homosexuals. But I was like, that's fine, because that's their movement,
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes you do something that outgrows you.
Yeah.
Now, the state then picked up that. The people, we picked up. Okay, Black Lives Matter. Now, when we say Black Lives Matter, this is what we mean.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That you can try to say what you want to say. That's fine. If that's what it means to you, that's what it means to you. But when I say it, let me clarify. And that's how we operate now. You go into that woman's house and trying to defame her, and it don't matter. I don't care if you debunk her as somebody who's going around shooting black people for fun.
Yes.
I'll be like, she ain't the movement. She ain't the...
I'll be real. This is the first time I actually saw a picture of the lady, and I was like, okay.
Care less about who she is.
I don't care about who she is.
Right.
I'm talking about what went on. I'm like, does the movement matter? Yes. It is still a relevant movement.
Still relevant.
Because people need to know that their lives matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't want to liken said woman to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey, but what I will do is say there's been historical black figures who've held a position, and if you dig through the crates of their life, you can find blemishes all through their stuff.
A pimp. He was an abuser. He did a lot of jacked up stuff. He did coke. Martin Luther King. He had a side chick. He was an adulterer. Did a lot of. It don't matter.
The thing about it is, when you started a fight, and that fight grew bigger than you, it don't matter what you did, bro. Nobody. I'm not worried. I'm not out here because Martin Luther King said be out here. I'm out here because I feel that what he's talking about is an injustice. So the message is why I'm here. The person is why the media is here, because y'all want to get. I need to get to that person because he's the one who started. So you feel like, oh, he's going to have the most to say about this. But it's people out there in the audience who's standing around. It's like, no. When I talk to him, I can tell you more about what he's saying than what he's saying because I'm living it day to day. Every day I feel it.
And that's how I feel about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's how I really feel about it because I'm like, it's crazy. I respect the Black Lives Matter movement because it is a movement that was needed when it was needed, because there was a lot of people going through issues, racial injustice. There's a lot of people being abused. A lot of police officers taking things further than what they were supposed to take them. And I'm not saying all police officers were bad or anything like that, but that's what it was. Like, there's a lot of people that don't understand the fear that certain people have with the police. And I know there's always going to be someone that says, well, if you're not doing nothing wrong, you shouldn't fear it. No, that's not true. Like, everybody has an innate fear of something.
Right.
Like, and a lot of African Americans, yes, they do fear the police because of things that you've seen. It's not just, oh, I heard about this, but I've seen things. I've been pulled over by police so many times, it's unreal. Yep. And I'm like, man, I've had so many guns pulled on me, and I've never did no drugs, none of that.
Can you fathom a world where there's people who are out here who've never been stopped by the police? It's people out there who never happened to. But if I talk to a black person, almost everyone's got a story, like where they had an interaction with a policeman that was not pleasant. Yes. And they felt like I was justified in whatever I was doing because I was operating within my rights.
And there's always someone that's like, oh, well, if you're not doing nothing wrong, then you shouldn't be worried. I'm like, hold up. No, that's not true, because there's times I'm driving down the street. If I see them little cherry go off in my rearview mirror, I'm like, oh, Lord.
My thing is Khalif Bauer. You told me I stole something. Picture going to prison and seeing people leave after they've done something. Like, you accuse me of taking a backpack. Like, you accused me.
Yeah.
I've seen people who get away on drug charges and murder charges going home, and I'm still here.
Yeah.
How? It's like, is the backpack more important than the mother life, or which one? Explain it to me. Because I personally don't feel like I need to be stuck here. But that's what I'm saying. When people tell you shouldn't be worried, I worry about them crazy stories like the dude who did the Herman House. Went to jail in his 20s. Was in jail so long, they asked him when he finally got out, and they disproved, because it was more political or whatever, but they disproved the whole situation.
Bro,
they asked him,
did you see that one? I saw it yesterday. Me and my wife, it left a horrible taste in my mouth. I was like, oh, that's so messed up. It was D.L. Hughley posted this one. It was on Instagram. Police officer has his gun drawn down on this 75-year-old lady, and she's in her house and everything. Yes, she has a knife in her hand. She has dementia. She like the 75-year-old lady, she's just arguing and all that stuff. She arguing with somebody on the inside. Police officer, I guess, was called because of noise complaint. They see the lady. He pulls a gun out on her. He's telling her to put the gun down.
The knife down.
Yes, put the knife down. And the thing is, she has dementia.
But he don't know that.
Like, but that's the thing is, you were called here not to shoot up the place. Your job is to make sure that safety.
I give lenience. Not saying that it's right. It's not right. It's definitely wrong. But it's more wrong that we put that cop in that situation. You call for a noise complaint, the cop should have resources allocated to him. This is why I don't 100% agree with the whole defund the police situation. Because if that policeman could have reached out to somebody and been like, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, get a mental health person. Because anybody holding a knife and I draw a gun down on you and I tell you, put the knife down, gun beats knife like paper beats rock. It's simple. I'm going to put it down. So if you don't, there has to be some additional. I need another set of eyes, maybe from.
And with that being said, like the lady, she's yelling at somebody in the house, and then she backs up, and when she backs up and moves forward, and when she moves forward, police officer shoots her, kills her.
It's a bad situation.
And
He had to make a judgment call.
But why is the judgment call always to kill?
You already got the gun out. Like sometimes you got something in the.
What I'm saying is, first of all, and we're not gonna act like, oh, you got a knife, and this is not going. Oh, you magically gonna fling this knife. This is not the movies. You can't just throw a knife and it magically shoot into somebody like warm butter.
So the question would be, you come into it, how close do I need to let you get before I pull out, before I shoot you?
Truth be told, bro, you could shot her in the arm.
No.
Yes, you could.
But
yes,
just because you shoot somebody in the arm and at 75, you don't think they'll still die? Blood loss, all kinds of issues.
I would rather the opportunity than you would put two in a chest.
That you gotta understand training. I'm not fighting for the police. It's just you make it an argument that's very difficult to support, because I'm in a situation where, yes, I came to a house. There's a lady sitting in the doorway with a knife, and as far as I know, this lady started to charge with the knife.
No, she was not charged. She was yelling and all this stuff for like 3-4 minutes. I'll show you when we get off. Okay. Like 3-4 minutes. She's just yelling and all that kind of stuff. Right. Somebody in the background is like, just put it down. Just put it down. She's arguing in Spanish to somebody else.
Okay.
And then all of us, she walks back. She backs up a little bit and then walks forward. When she walks forward a little, she didn't walk out the house. She did not charge at the officer. Now, I would understand more if she was just like, you know what? I'm going out with the knife. And she charges at the officer.
My question to you would be this. She's arguing with someone in the house, correct?
Yes.
And because she has dementia, people with dementia have episodes.
Yes.
So I'm sure this isn't something that is foreign to the person in the house.
Okay.
Right. So, is there not a back door? Is there not something else that I could have came out? Is there not a phone I could have picked up from sitting down in the chair? Hey, there's cops outside my house right now. This elderly person sitting in my front room has dementia. Because information can change a lot. What I'm trying to say on the cop's behalf, because I can't, if I'm going to be angry with a cop, it's going to be righteous anger. I'm sitting here in a position to where I don't know. I came in here on the noise complaint. There's a lady standing in the doorway with a knife.
Okay.
I have to figure this out. I don't have a lot of time.
Figure it out doesn't mean kill.
Figure it out doesn't mean kill, but if that's what I have on my hip at the time,
you could have got a taser.
We can.
You know what you could have did?
Hindsight is 20/20.
Like,
we can always talk about what we could have did.
Then don't have nothing in your belt except the gun. If all you're going to do is shoot, that's like you got handcuffs, you got taser, you got mace, you got a nightstick, you got all these other things. And yes, nightstick does beat a knife. Yes, nightstick is probably about.
But I
4
know
or 5 feet
pieces
long.
of a nightstick. Rich got one. What I'm saying
exactly.
is, you stand in the doorway, because I don't know if I'm not saying it right. I'm standing in the doorway. I'm holding a knife. I'm yelling back to someone in the house.
Okay.
Is that person being held hostage with this knife? They walk backwards. They walk forward. I don't know what's the overarching situation.
Well,
I assume, and as a cop, it's hard because when I'm doing this assumption thing, people die.
And this is what all I'm saying is I understand it's hard being a police officer. I will never take that away. I believe it's one of the hardest jobs. That's why I think police officers should get paid more. Right. They need more resources.
They need. My money wouldn't go necessarily to the cop. It would go to different departments within to give them resources.
All I'm saying is, first of all, okay, for example, right now, you're 34 years old, right?
Right.
You holding a knife versus a 75-year-old woman, and yes, you can look and see close to someone's age.
Yeah.
Who's going to move faster with that knife? You or that 75-year-old woman?
I would hope myself, yes.
Yes, if you can't move with it, it's an issue.
It's an issue.
Now, okay, who is more of a threat with that knife? You or that 75-year-old woman?
That 75-year-old woman with dementia.
No, what I'm saying as a threat, if you were going, if
She's
both
more
of
of
you
a threat.
were
She's
going
more.
to use it, let's say
She's
both of you
more.
were going to use the
Jeremy,
knife.
I'm trying to explain it to you. You won't let me. She's more volatile. I'm of sound mind. I just told you what I would do. A cop draw down on me and all I'm holding is a knife. The knife is dropped. The cop drew down on this old lady, 75. The knife did not go to the ground.
But if both
She's more volatile.
Okay. My thing is, both of you, there, you have, just like you said, assess the threat. 75 years old. First of all, do you honestly believe right now there's any 75-year-old that's going to drop you? If y'all were in a fist fight.
I sent you a picture.
Oh, the one dude, that one dude out of a billion.
No, I definitely have to hold my own. It wouldn't be like we be out there.
Like, okay, that one guy.
You said, but you gotta be careful with the word choice. Said anybody.
You know what I mean. The fact of the matter is, there's no way no 75-year-old person is going to be like, is more of a threat than a 31-year-old if they both were wanting to harm you.
No. What I'm saying is this. You're saying there's no way. There is a way. Dementia alters the situation.
Does dementia alter strength? No, it does not.
But it does. Because I'm of sound mind, there's limitations placed on what I will do to a person just by me being mentally capable. Like,
sir,
it's places that people who don't have these stopping points that I have, that they'll go, and it'll be accidental. It won't really be intentional, but they'll go there.
You could have pulled out a nightstick and hurt. I would rather you broke grandma's arm. I would rather you broke. First of all,
okay.
And yes,
you're
not gonna say she gonna magically.
No, this is what I'm gonna say to you. So you pull out this nightstick and you bow right there on Granny leg. Granny fall down. Oh, what's the tabloids then? Cop breaks Nanny's ankle with a nightstick.
Okay, which one would you rather those same tabloids have?
Crueler than you. We tell people we figuring out how to kill the chickens proper.
Granny has a knife.
Granny has a knife.
Hits Granny's arm.
But I
arm.
already know the conversation that would have been had. You couldn't disarm Granny. She's 75.
You shot Granny and killed her.
Look. We ain't gonna.
No,
it's gonna be difficult
because where you keep going, bro.
I'm not
it's
going.
Like full of some bull.
It's not full of bull,
bro.
What are you saying?
75-year-old person.
Yes.
And you have a nightstick. Nightstick beats out the knife. It does. There's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me.
I'm not saying
you are trained.
I'm telling you right now. I know full well that a 30, 40-year-old cop with a nightstick beats a 75-year-old grandma with a knife.
Okay.
What I also understand is I hit Granny with this nightstick. The person in that house she yelling at sues me and the department because that's cruel and inhumane. Because I assess no. That's what they gonna say. And there's a lawyer out there, and there's a lawyer out there with a skill set far superior to mine that could go and take that ammunition and run your department into the ground.
So this is what we're saying is, in order to not get sued, kill her.
No, what I'm saying is this. I don't know if she's holding people hostage in that house.
Okay.
I don't know the distance the cop is from that woman. For all I know, she could have been yelling at a 7-year-old. I don't know. I'm putting in position to where I have to make I have to, out of everybody here, I have to act.
Okay.
The next door neighbor, they acted by calling me, and they want results. The world wants results. And how I handle the situation, I'm getting attacked for it. But I'm like, certain ones, sure. The gentleman with the knee on his neck.
Okay,
that's George Floyd. That's a problem.
Okay.
Because he's already down, he's subdued, and I got my knee in his neck, and I continue. I've acted. My actions has already subdued the suspect, put the suspect in a position to like submission, and I continue with the force on the neck. That's intentional. That's me trying to harm a man. You run up on grandma. I'm standing at the doorway. I got to make a decision. She holding a knife. She walking towards the house. She walking back towards me. She still holding a knife. I got a gun. She ain't put it down. Who is she talking to in the house? Are the people in the house safe? Am I taking a life to save a life? All these questions lead up to the choices I make.
Yes,
and
I understand.
Okay, and you talking about that nightstick? One keep you talking about that nightstick, right?
Yes.
Let's say I as a cop dart towards this old lady with a nightstick. She gets frightened and frazzled. She runs back towards the house to where I think is there? Some sort of victim. She stabs said victim. Now I got two bodies on my hands.
Maybe you gotta watch the video, because if you watch the video, no, it was not that.
Okay, well I gotta watch the video.
Because she wasn't running. She wasn't able to run like that.
Buddy, I gotta see the video. It's difficult right now because from what I see in my mind and what you're telling me, I'm like, look, I ain't trying to say go put Granny down, but it happened.
All I'm saying is the fact of the matter is, if the reason why you would rather take a life versus break an arm is because you worry about getting sued,
it's not about getting sued.
World. Yes, that is.
I brought it to the point, but I'm saying the reason I brought up being sued is because no matter what that cop did, unless he leaves with that lady still standing and able to bake cookies next Sunday, he's a villain. Sometimes you put in a position to where ain't nothing I can do, buddy. And everybody has this hindsight vision of, oh, he should have did this. He should have did that. He should have did this. You ain't here. And I can't tell you I've seen people do worse in far less stressful situations.
I will tell anyone, maybe you're not trained as well as you need to be trained in. Because if your first thing...
that's training.
Man, give me a break. You could have maced Granny. And if you say, oh, man, Granny magically going to take Mace in the face and come out and start shaking everybody.
What I'm saying is all these hypotheticals. I do know, from what you said, I do know what happened. A cop made a decision to shoot a person who was hostile and volatile and potentially volatile. When you throw that age on it, it really don't matter to me. Mm-hmm. When you throw... That cop had to make a decision. Okay. And in his mind, he could have been trying to save a life.
Okay, switch it around. 10-year-old. No, we're going to go 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
A 9-year-old has a knife.
Okay.
Running at you with the knife. As a police officer, you going to put two hollows in them. Yes or no? It's either yes or no.
It depends, but mainly, more than likely, no.
On to the next subject.
Okay. I can leave it right there. I don't think this is...
Yes, it is.
No.
But it's okay.
No.
It's okay. Y'all be...
be the judge.
Y'all be the judge of it. I really want to know.
A 9-year-old runs at me with a knife. And, okay. And I don't shoot him down. A 75-year-old with dementia running back and forth in a house with potential victims... Because I don't know the situation. And I put her down.
No, it's the same as...
No. We letting them decide.
Yeah, I want them to decide. Same as that
9-year-old, 75-year-old. Who am I putting down? Mm-hmm. And I can put one of them down. Either grandma going to stick around or the 9-year-old going to stick around. The grandma who's 75 with a life expectancy of, 75. Anyway, anonymous donor... On the more positive.
Yeah, you won't believe this one now.
You won't believe this one. Anonymous donor at Wylie College clears all 2022 graduates' debts.
Where would they went? I was in college,
bruh. Can I just be an honorary graduate? Like, I know you're anonymous. If you at some point find this video and I'm still in debt with Navient now. Sally Mae, she gave up my debt. She was like, but Navient now, if you could somehow just agree to feel like I was 2022 instead of when I was, just throw that at, it ain't even that much, bro. Ma'am, sir, I don't know.
Mine is, All I'm saying is, don't get me wrong. I am extremely happy for those graduates, but I am hating a little bit. I admit that I'm not gonna lie and sit here like, man, Dr. Phil or somebody like he went to UNT. I'm like, man, somebody could hated that.
Dr. Phil got bad Barbie, whatever her name is. He got her on for being bad. Can you put me on for being good, bro? I don't need a lot of money. I want a lot of money. I don't need it though. Clear the student loans. Instantly, I'm secured. Help me.
Like, man, student loans. Like, could you imagine right now? Just somebody, Mr. Hunter. Yes, we want to just let you know that anonymous donor decided, you know what, we're gonna clear all the debt for your all the graduates 2012 at UNT. Man, you know how many backflips I can't even do a backflip.
Bruh.
I'm gonna try one that day.
Bruh, I'll go get a class in gymnastics to prepare myself to do a black backflip on camera just for that moment. Be like, I couldn't do this before, but because of your generous donation, I'm able to find it in me to get that backflip.
Man, people that haven't been to college, like really haven't been to college, don't understand, like, because when you get out of college, you expect, they gave you these dreams of, oh, well, you're going to get a great job, you can knock out your student loan that quick, but then you find out, oh, student loans ain't playing. I don't care what kind of job you got. The student loans are like, oh, we're going to keep accruing. We're going to keep getting this money.
You know what? I just thought of this, though. There's a collection of people. Like, if we were able to get, because we'll get together on like I said, on a funeral or this or that, and we'll be like, yeah, put some money towards that. Why don't we ever be like, you know what? I know you went to college. I can't pay it all, but here's $100 on it. Here's something that ain't gonna hurt you. I got you $100. You can't use that $100 for nothing else, but still go towards your student loans. You get enough people in your family or your friend group, your social group, whoever it is, just donate $100 to your situation, and maybe you knock off $8,000 from what you owe.
You wanna know why?
Why?
Because we're selfish.
I already said that. I said
like because we don't want to be in, like, here's how it would, here's how most people would look at it. Okay, we could do that, but I'm first, just in case. And then there's some people that would be like, oh, once I got mine paid off, oh, we good on, I'm good. Man, you better figure out somebody to do yours. There's always that person is like, I was watching this thing on TikTok. TikTok is starting to be the devil because I watch it for a while now.
I still ain't really got into it.
Now, there were like these 3 ants, and they were trying to get across. And the thing is, all 3 ants go down, and they're trying to figure out how to get across to the other side. So when they're trying to get across to the other side, one ant decides they're gonna stay back. They lift up the other ant so they could build a little bridge, and they build a bridge with their bodies for the one ant to pull itself across. And then the other ant grabs the ant that's going across. It grabs its leg so both of them could get across.
Right.
Both of them left that one ant just sitting there. It was like, oh, we're going forward. And I think that's the mentality of a lot of people.
Well, in the ants' case, if they're going that way and they left him behind, because they operate on chemicals and they herd mentality. Yeah. The power must have been that way, and the sole purpose of that female ant, most times a female, was to get them across so they can continue on, and that ant probably gonna grab another one.
They were all the same, and they all looked the exact same.
Yeah.
My thing is, 2 of them got across, and they left the other ant.
Right.
And with them leaving the other ant, it doesn't matter what y'all went over there to get, because the other ant is still trying to figure out how to get across there too. But if all 3 ants were to go over, hey, everybody could have got a piece of the pie or
Well,
whatever they were
always gonna
looking
get a
for.
piece of it. I don't know if ants is a good one. Reason being, because they gonna take it back to the mound, regardless.
See, you being too technical with it. That's what it is right there. You being way too technical.
I just watch too many nature channels to let you get
and
this.
what I'm saying is, with a lot of people, like okay, for example, a lot of Hispanic people will do that. Yeah. They'll stay in one house,
and everybody get a house.
Everybody gonna get this house, and the last people, hey, y'all keep the house. Y'all keep this house. Everybody got a house. Everybody comes up.
Mm-hmm. And they so good, they'll even the person who had the initial house, once everybody got their house, they'll come back and we gonna do some extra to make your house like our house now, because we got new houses.
We gotta make sure everybody
gets it.
Everybody eats. But in general, most people don't believe that idea. Everybody eats. It's like, oh, okay, we'll all eat, but if I have a way of eating more,
I'm gonna eat more.
I'm gonna eat more.
Right.
And if I gotta leave you to get more, so be it.
Yeah.
And that's why we couldn't do it.
That's true.
And I know that sounds messed up.
No, but I agree with what you're saying, because I live it. Because I know it's like a lot of people won't make moves because they feel like they're the only one moving. Yeah. It's like, nah, I can't buy. If he ain't gonna put in as much as I put in, then he ain't gonna give. I'm like, no. The key to this is you put in yours, and it might feel stupid. It might be like, look, I put this up for us to get this. My thing is, you just got to choose the right people.
Yeah,
I put that up because I know, regardless of what happens, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna be here till we see this thing, whether it's either this takeoff or a sink. You'll be here, and I can respect that. It's respectable. But the thing,
that's the issue, is because there's so many people out here like, oh, I'll do it until I find better.
Yeah,
and then once they find better, they'll act like, oh, it didn't happen.
And that's why I feel like that's the decline in marriage.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but her booty bigger. What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to be dragging that wagon though? What was I supposed to do? Be like, you supposed to stay home.
Man, on that note,
you supposed to stay home. She dragging that wagon, I know. You won't believe this one either. Antonio Brown gets on podcast and says that there is no racism in America. And his justification is because of his contract. In the contract he signs.
Antonio Brown need to be slapped. Like, this, I hate when people do these analogies because I came out of it. There's no more racism. There's no more this. This doesn't happen no more.
A lot of people people are you-centric. If it happened for me, then it must be happening for you. Like the Taliban taking over the right now, you got the Russian and the Ukraine situation going on. Just because nobody denied me on buses doesn't mean that over in the Ukraine they're not denying black students from getting on buses.
Yeah,
I know this. I'm like, no, over in the Ukraine they'll stop. But also, looking from their side to this side, just because they let me on the bus don't mean that racism don't exist in America. I can't. You can't make false correlations. Just because you got paid to go and put your body through crazy amounts of stress to do the this, to that, the third, does not mean that they ain't gaining far more from you accepting their contract than you getting from them giving it to you.
Like, there is no football player out here that has more than any owner.
You can't. I can't own it.
So, yes, if I could get you to work for me and I give you so much.
The key to that is to understand, because most deaf, Black Star, most Deaf Talk, they dropped the album. I gotta go look up the name, but it's not on DSPs. It's not on you can't find it on Apple Music. You can't find it on a Tidal. You can't find it on none of that. They open up their own platform, and if you want my music, you need to go here. You're gonna pay this price. It's gonna be your music. You're gonna have it. But instead of going and telling me I'm gonna get, a certain percentage, a couple pennies for a play, it's absurd to him.
Yeah.
And he stood on what he said.
And I respect it.
So I'm like, that's the difference. Okay, you going and you join the NFL, you gonna play and put your body through crazy amounts of trauma. You might not be able to play with your grandkids. The owner's still gonna be able to play with his. And the owner made more coin off you throwing them running the football than anybody else out here.
Hadn't had to touch the football.
Never touched I ain't gonna say never, but in the capacity which you touched it, he has not touched it yet.
Yeah.
So didn't do none of that, but he gonna reap the benefits of the financial as well as the longevity.
Yes.
So when you putting that into perspective, it's like, bruh, the NFL or the major sports people are just downloadable platforms for athletes.
Yeah. Like, for example, Jay-Z and Tidal.
Right.
Jay-Z created Tidal because he wanted his own streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's a great way of doing certain things because he was sick of the way that other streaming services is. So, hey, you know what? Let me capitalize, move myself over here. What was it? Wasn't it the Blueprint and all that stuff that he only put on there?
I have to go.
It was a couple when he first came out. It was one of his albums. You could only get it on his streaming service.
And Beyonce's music most time. Like, was it Lemonade? It might have been Lemonade. I'm not of the Beehive, so I apologize. Don't buzz me. But I think it was Lemonade.
But all I'm saying is, with that being said, why not build your own revenue so you can get more revenue?
Right.
It's like, okay, I got my own service to make sure that I get what's best for me.
Right. My fans gonna come here to hear my music, and then if you can get, but my thing is, if you running a title, okay, you did this with the sole intent was to do better for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Are you gonna extend that out to other artists? Like, did Tidal go through and give you higher percentages in Apple Music on your music?
I would hope it did. I really.
But see, that's the key. We gotta hope, and now vice versa. If every time a person drops an album, they got their own streaming software, and then you as the customer got to go out, find that person and buy their software. Like, oh, now I got to get this platform to listen to their music. Oh, now I got to get this platform to listen to their music.
It gets to the point where it's like, okay, the reason Jay-Z could do that is because who don't know who Jay-Z is?
Right.
Like, okay, Tupac could have did it.
Yeah.
Biggie could have did it.
Snoop can still do it.
Yeah, Snoop still could do it as of right now.
Yeah.
Because their names have been solidified as in being up there. Mm-hmm. Now, that don't mean that there's no smaller people that want more, but your name is not solidified like theirs. It's not. Just because you want it to
don't mean it is.
Doesn't mean it is. Well, I'm a huge Big Crit fan, but everybody don't know who Big Crit is.
This is a problem. Everybody should know Crit.
Yes. KRIT, man, go hard. Oh. But a lot of people don't know who he is. So that's why I'm like, Big Crit, no, you can't do that.
If he did it, I subscribe. I'm not gonna lie.
You would, but it's like you still have to have enough people for that.
Right. You're right.
Now, when it comes to the whole idea of Antonio Brown talking about, oh, it's no more racism because I made money in this league, I could do it, so there's no issue. So what you're saying is, oh, if they didn't pull you over, like, they could pull it over your cousin, your brother, your auntie, your daddy, all that kind of stuff. But he didn't pull me over, so it's not racism.
No racism.
That's
the dumbest thing. That's the dumbest thing. I'm just like, don't make. All I'm saying is shrink your statements down. Don't profess to the max. Be like, they finally doing me right, y'all. Nobody gonna complain.
Yeah.
He saw his contract. He felt like they doing him right this time. He gonna pursue it.
Okay.
Nobody arguing with that. You could even be like, you know what I'm saying? This one was for my wife. I'd be like, I don't know how. It's for your wife. Outside of you, I guess you do. I could figure it out. When you say, and you speak for the group, when you speak for everybody, because Martin Luther King saying racism needs to end because, you know, y'all doing this to black people. We as black people don't want to be treated like this.
Yeah.
That's a blanket statement that you can throw over. Yes, I don't want to. He can say that because I feel that way. I do.
Yes. I don't want to be treated like this.
You can't tell me because somebody did right by you that they ain't doing wrong to me.
That was like when Lil Wayne said it, and people were pissed.
But the thing about when Lil Wayne said, he's like, I don't see racism. When he threw it internal,
and I could understand him saying, I don't see racism.
I'm like, I can't argue with you.
And that is fine and cool when you say, I don't see it.
And he gave his reason.
And yeah,
look at the money I'm making.
The police
look at the police who saved my life, Uncle Bob.
Mm-hmm. He was a white guy. He picked me up.
When everybody else ran over me.
Mm-hmm. Trying to find the drugs.
The white guy dismissed all the drugs, dismissed all the guns, dismissed all the party, said it's a kid about to die on the floor and we gonna jump over him and go do everything else. You know what, Lil Wayne? If you don't see racism and that's your linchpin, but you didn't say that racism don't exist, I don't see it. Cool. The media hyped it up to make it more than what it was. He was saying for me.
Yeah, and I could understand that, but that one instance made you not see a lot of other things, though.
No. In his world, if you talk anything that you say about you from your point of view, from your lenses, I rarely, if ever, gonna argue with you about it. If you told me, B Hunt, you know what, you a cool dude, but your teeth just a little too big for me to talk to you every day, I'd be like, it's weird, but okay. And like, you know, and I was like, that's how he feels.
I can respect your opinion as long as your opinion is not hurting everyone else.
No, when it's his opinion would not hurt anybody if it was not weaponized. Candace Owens, the issue with her going to the Black Lives Matter is because she's trying to use that to weaponize something against a movement that's far outgrown the person who initiated. No one cares. She could be a stripper on death row for all I care.
Yeah.
When she talked about this, I believe that.
Yeah.
The rest of whatever she do from that point means nothing to me. You ain't gonna devalidate or take away the value of my movement.
Yeah.
Because the originator is someone else.
Yeah.
I don't care. I know I'm for real about what I'm saying, and you shoot my people down the street. Done.
I agree with that.
The Antonio Brown guy, okay, no, buddy. Because just a couple months ago, a week ago or something, racism existed.
Yeah.
They give you some money, and now racism don't exist. You too old. You know, you too old. You've been through too much, and I'm sure
you've been caught with the okie doke.
You thrown the race card. I know in your life a few times.
Man, that's like when dudes like, oh, wash my hand, and throw some sand in your eyes just to blind you. It's like, bruh,
come on now.
Like, you don't see money don't end.
Money don't end the struggle.
I'm like, oh well, it ended my struggle. But mess around, Antonio Brown gonna be on 30 for 30, be broke.
I ain't gonna project that man life.
I don't want to, but I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna speak on him in that man. But what I will say is, since hindsight is 2020, you made a stupid statement. Very dumb statement. So with the money, if they did give all black people reparations, would that finally end racism to you?
No.
Okay.
Like, my thing is I don't care about the whole reparation. Oh, you want to be fair? Okay, make things fair enough where I can get things done. I can move the way I need to move without any restrictions.
They gave you 40 acres and a mule with a house on it.
No, they did not.
I'm saying, but if they did, the equivalent today. What's up, guy? Okay, I'll see you later.
Like, okay, you saying they're giving you 40 acres and a mule. Now, what happens if you tax me more on that mule? Or that 40 acres and all that kind of stuff?
I'm saying,
like, I don't want you to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, but
the stipulations.
I'm gonna hit you with that back end on since we gave you that 40 acres, anytime you get pulled over by the police, it's not racism. Anytime you get denied for a loan or whatever you're trying to build in your company or trying to come up, it's not bigotry or racism.
Right.
What I want you to just be like, hey, call it straight down the line. If you call it straight down the line, best person gets it. If it's a job, you know what? Whoever's qualified enough for this job, get this job. I don't care who they are.
Okay. Well,
I'm cool with that.
I remember what you said.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Are you cool with it?
I'm cool with it.
Okay. So, would you say you're getting a better education at a HBCU or Yale?
Okay. If we say traditionally,
which one though?
Which
one though? You have the option right now as a student going to college. You got full rides to both. You got a full ride to Howard.
Go to Yale.
You would go to Yale.
Yes.
So, in turn, you believe that the education that you're getting there, or at least the status you receive from being a Yale graduate, is superior to what you would get from being a HBC, a Grambling State graduate.
Well,
right?
Because it's not on the university, it's on if I could retain that information. But the idea for other people seeing that when you put Yale on a college grad on anything, they're gonna be like, Yale is looked at as better,
right?
Versus no matter what HBC, Howard or anything like that,
right.
Yale is looked at as the top of the line,
right?
So I'm like, yes, I would go to Yale because I'm like, okay, it's looked at as more prestigious and better.
Right. So now, the reason I asked that is because you said if they called it straight. Going to Yale, what's the statistic of black students going to Yale?
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you the statistic.
I'll let you know it's slow.
I mean,
it's just,
I'm pretty sure it's low.
It's low. But the Howard grad goes in for a job. The Yale grad goes in for a job. Who gets the job?
And see, I would want to know what else you have other than just...
You would. We're not talking about you. We talking about you went in for a job. You can't judge yourself. You just went in for the job. I'm walking into the door. My application's on the table. And this is a awkward interview because they like, we want to pit them against each other. They put him at the table with the Yale degree, you at the table with the Howard degree, and they say, okay, which one? I'm letting you know right now that this gentleman sitting next to you has a degree from Yale. You have a degree from Howard. Who do you think I'm going to give this to? And would you say that if I was to give it to him, that I would be doing this fair or not fair?
Well, yes, I would say that would be unfair because you're not asking us anything except which one of y'all went to Howard and which one of y'all went to Yale. Now, if that's what you're basing it on,
that's what they do.
You're basically setting it up for that person to win. But that's not fair. Because what I'm saying is like if, if that's the difference between, someone going to college, graduating from college, and somebody going to community college for one semester and dropping out. if you put
That's
those
not
two,
the equivalent though.
no,
but okay.
I mean, what I'm saying, if you put those two in the room,
Right.
I'm going to automatically look at the one that went to a university
And completed it.
and completed. I'm trying to see where his mindset is.
But with that being, the reason I said it's not the equivalent is because if you go to Yale and you complete Yale, then you went to an institution and you started something and you finished.
Yes.
If you went to Howard and you went to something, you completed it. You started and you completed it. So the essence of it is you got a degree, whatever. Regardless of the institution, I can look at the two people sitting across me at the table and understand that if I were to give this person a job, I can expect one thing. If I hand them an assignment, they'll go and start the assignment and complete it.
Yes.
The community college dropout is like, bro, you didn't even complete community college. And I'm not knocking any community college. I'm just saying you didn't. So you have a track record or not. So it wasn't necessarily the institution. If they had went and they had did and received an associate degree, and they went up there and they dealing with a person sitting next to them is a guy from UNT and you went to Eastfield, I feel like we still need to have this conversation to figure out who's the better fit.
Be fair if you actually had the conversation. Now, if you're just looking at it and be like, you went to Yale, you went to Howard, honestly, you're doing yourself a disservice because just because you went there and graduated, there's people that cheated in college. They just didn't get caught.
A lot of people
cheated. But they don't know nothing about what they're supposed to do. Oh, but they finished.
They finished. The number says what the number says. They completed the task.
That's why I would just say if it was me, I'm trying to find the best person for the job, not who has the best
and most accolades. But that's the sticky wick, because a lot of people look at the best person for the job as the one who got the most accolades. So I can't tell you to draw it straight, like cut it, because there's more people in position who don't look like me that can go to Yale. Mm-hmm. Financially, it was difficult for me to go just to UNT. It would have been difficult for me to go to Howard. It would have been difficult for me to go to any college anywhere. I would be in debt. I'm in debt now. I just know that. So with that being said,
no, Yale's like $20,000 a semester,
which means I can't go. That's all that means.
A semester.
I can't go unless I'm world-renowned genius Brian Hunter. I'm not going in that building because I can't afford it. People ain't gonna put money up for me to get there. They don't know, buddy. Howard is just as good as an institution, and they're gonna tell me that. But I brought it up to draw two parallels. We'll say it, but we don't really mean it. And then on top of that, we can't say that it's gonna be fair and equal when you have resources and access to things that I don't have. So, am I for reparations? If you decide to give people money right now, only thing it would do is put us in a position to give the money right back to you and cause a major flip, because we don't own nothing. We can't use the money to grow the money. Like, you gave me money right now, I would have to go learn the stock market. I can't just play it because I'm just giving you my money back. It's like, it's not a high percentage of people who win on stock market. It's just not. They tell you it is, but it's not. People make good decisions. I don't know how to make those good decisions yet. No, I'm not telling you not to go play stock, but I'm telling you that's what it is. So, shout outs.
Yeah. With that being said, as always, let's shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. Y'all check out our pages, Instagram, Facebook, Wasted Desires, Yanni like mine, Traces like mine. Check all of them out. This is a black-owned company. Two black women actually make most of everything that goes through there. They hand touch everything. It's quality over quantity any day. Y'all check it out. Like their page, subscribe, share their stuff. Also, like to shout out to Nate Price, Grit and Grind. He is a fantastic trainer. He actually takes time out to work with his everyone that he trains is very good, especially if you're trying to take it to that next level. Um, Aretha, she's in Northwest Mall. She actually has a little storefront up there. I'm not gonna say little. She has a storefront up there. She actually is making things happen for her business. This is Northeast Mall. Sorry. She does body contouring, body sculpting, um, all those good things. Y'all check them out. Also, like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Something the number 4 DA people.
Top notch. Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. Check him out. Mike, State of Being, SOB. It's a podcast. D-Mac, he's a barber. Am I forgetting anybody? No. That's that. It's been another episode of Something for the People.
Y'all be easy.
Hold it down.